here to present our plan to increase canopy coverage in our area. Though we are aware that existing infrastructure such as businesses and houses can limit which trees we plant and where we plant them, we believe that it's important to have canopy coverage in every area in our community. Forest canopy is the first part of the tree to benefit from sunlight. It affects plant and wildlife beneath and around it, and it takes in much of the wind and extreme temperatures. The cost of the tree, maintenance and development of the tree could add up to a much higher cost than we initially expected. Park trees can grow more freely than boulevard trees, but boulevard trees do take more maintenance to uphold, and they require some sort of enclosure or fencing around them to protect them from human and animal harm that could come to them, whether it's intentional or not. Each tree also can grow and benefit in different types of soil and environments, so we would have to put money into bringing different soils into each tree's specific place they need to be, whether it's the park or the boulevard. We would also have to hire somebody to maintain the trees on a weekly basis so that our community wouldn't have to take care of these trees all on our own. We could have someone responsible for the trees that knows what they're doing. We appreciate the City Council's support, and we agree that the budget needs to be cut in order to put money into other areas, but it presents a problem when trying to care for our trees to the fullest extent. So we would apply for a grant through the Arbor Day Foundation. They are paired with companies such as FedEx, Enterprise, and Disney, and they provide trees or fund the planting of trees in rainforest cities and communities, and we think that they could help us out when we're looking to increase our canopy coverage. We could also talk to small and local businesses to see if they would want to invest in trees for our community. We think that once people see our canopy coverage being increased and our community forestry program growing, that they will start to become interested and have questions. So we think that it would be a good idea to have somebody come in and talk on a weekly basis and give seminars and answer questions that people have about our forestry program, and it could really increase the support we have in our community. There's national criteria we have to follow and regulations that we have to uphold in regards to these trees. It involves things such as trees near telephone poles, how far away they can be from driveways and stop signs, and how far away trees can be from each other. We need these regulations, and we would need to hire somebody to plan out where our trees are going to be planted so that we don't have problems when we are planting our trees that disrupt this criteria. We need tree planting diversity in our town and community because it can prevent disease from spreading quickly and killing off most of our tree population. Currently, our population of trees is heavily weighted on one side, with 30% of our boulevard trees being silver maple. They do benefit our community by intercepting thousands of gallons of stormwater and increasing property value, but the amount of trees that we currently have, the percent of them presents a problem. As we continue to plant more trees, it's not that we should take down silver maple, but we just should not plant any more because the percentage of them will go down as we plant more trees. When storms, fire, and diseases do come through our town and kill off our trees, we should have a backup plan to ensure that our trees are being kept safe. So when our boulevards are damaged by disease or fire, we have black walnut and paper birch ready to be planted. They are currently in our boulevard, but they only occupy a small percent, so they would thrive in that environment. And crabapple and paper birch would be planted in parks because they too occupy only a small percentage of our parks and can thrive in a park environment. We could also try and prevent such storms damage by pruning our trees, branches, and trunks.
So as Lily stated, we would like to plant more trees in parks and boulevards. Adding to our current population, we would plant Black Hill spruce, crabapple, paper birch, red oak, and hackberry trees in park areas, and hackberry, red maple, black walnut, and paper birch in boulevards. These trees would cost anywhere from $56 to $150 per 100 trees, though we will only plant as many as our current budget and fundraising will allow. All of these trees will help to increase our canopy coverage. We would buy seedlings anywhere from 8 to 18 inches and plant them 40 to 50 feet apart in areas where individually they would best survive and flourish. Trees will follow these guidelines as well. Trees will be 15 to 20 feet from a driveway. Trees will be 30 feet from a streetlight. Trees will be 10 to 15 feet from a utility shutoff, fire hydrant, or other structure. If no sidewalk exists, trees will be planted a minimum of 8 feet behind the curb, and if a boulevard is less than 8 feet wide, no trees will be planted in that area. As the trees grow, the costs will grow as well. The costs will be there to take care of the trees, and I believe that with enough volunteer work and fundraising, we can keep our trees healthy. Trees in parks will not cost as much because they will be able to grow more freely than trees in boulevards. And these costs will help to protect the trees from animals and weather, and will help pay for any watering, weed control, or pruning that may be necessary. We will be able to plant many trees with our current budget.
Minnesota's trees are affected by a number of invasive species, such as tent caterpillars, cankerworms, sawflies, and the emerald ash borer. In our community, we can focus on educating and raising awareness of the possibility of an invasive species outbreak. Preventing the spread is the most important factor when trying to avoid an invasive species. We can also create traps, much like the emerald ash borer traps we see around rivers and trees today. We can't prevent storm events. However, we can do our part to plant our trees safe distances away from any and all buildings. That way, if a heavy wind blows through and a tree gets blown over, it is less likely to cause damage. We can also hire people or ask for volunteers to help clean up after big storms. This will create more jobs in our community and give more opportunities to the young people in and around our community. Losing trees to old age can be managed by going through every spring and marking which trees are presumed to be dead. We can then decide whether or not the trees need to be harvested or possibly made into some kind of a habitat for an animal that might not otherwise be able to find a safe spot to live.
There are many ways to go about increasing public awareness of the importance of trees and the utilization of volunteers to plant them. The most effective way would more than likely to be by informing people of tree benefits. The more that people know about trees and their benefits, the more likely they would be to help out. We can inform others about trees in a variety of ways, making a bigger deal of Labor Day in schools and just trees in general would be a good start. Schools would be able to teach students just how important trees are to the humans in the world. Kids in school could even plant trees together on Arbor Day. Similar could be held to future information community members. And possible and inspire groups could be started so ideas could be shared and put together through teamwork. News articles, advertisements, and social media would be great ways to get the word around and assist the environment of trees in becoming public knowledge. It would be great if the community was able to work together get things done quicker and more effectively with the help of many ideas and options. Getting things done like business and school clubs involved would be great for donations and drawing attention to the matter. Lastly, we could celebrate Arbor Day as a town. The trees in a town affect everyone who lives there. If everyone knew just a little more about the importance of trees and were able to enjoy their beauty, it would be a lot more likely of people to want to help out with them.
We appreciate your time and hope that you will consider our plan to increase canopy coverage in our area. Thank you.